see the way the members of the crowd dress. They're 360 degrees to a circle. If you use the divisions in the West, you can make a circle with 10 degrees if you want to divide it into. But the normal way is 4 quadrants. 4 quadrants of 90 give you 360. How are you going to have a complete circle with Western thought with 32 degrees? What they've done is try to make something African fit the life of Jesus and the death of Jesus for 33 years. Secondly, they put into it St. John Day. They had no John at all around. They had no Jesus, no Jehovah. None of those things were existing in terms of what they now call Freemasonry. And people dress up like penguins in the street walking around. The point, what was the mystery system? It was the educational system. You know what? I'll give you a mystery. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's the mystery. If you don't know that, if you don't have basic algebra, you wouldn't know the answer. You don't know what they're talking about. That's the mystery. And these fellows here that call themselves Freemasons, 99% of them couldn't give you the answer to that question. All they can give you is what they had in some church. They repeat it again, drinking alcohol, messing with the next guy's wife. That is Freemasonry in the West. But Freemasonry, or what they call the Masonified law, is a whole different thing than when you see these guys running around with top hat and fly tail and all like that running the street for the secret. How the hell is secret and they're walking in the street? See what they're doing. This is it.
Time is moving rather rapidly, and we are going to have to close at 10:45. The brothers are going to have to get the rest to prepare for tomorrow. So, next question, brother.
This is a short question for Dr. Clarke. Dr. Clarke, I know that you were a writer. You wrote fiction before becoming a historian. Would you address comments to the problem of getting Afrocentric history, the history that our elders here have been uncovering and speaking about for 50 years? How to get Afrocentric history, the problem of Afrocentric history in literature?
Well, anything that's not in keeping with the norm encounters difficulty, because people have a preconceived notion of where all things are supposed to fit. And when you don't put it quite that way, it falls between the cracks. Some of Afrocentric literature has gotten into the textbooks. A story I wrote when I was 23 years old, which is over 50 years ago, before we painted Christ black. It's really the most reprinted of all black short stories. It's reprinted because of the flow of this writing. It's not even the best writing that I've done. It's kind of a gimmick story, and it's a nice children's story. It flows beautifully. So it got there, but there's a whole lot of good material that never sees the light of day. Some things get published because it's a challenge. I think an essay I did called "The Search for Identity" been published in several places and used in several textbooks because it explains how I came to seriously study African history in my own personal background in Alabama, and my love of the three women that shaped my life, my great-grandmother, my mother, and my fifth grade teacher, and how really the greatest influence in my life is three black women. And not that I have underrated any of the black men in my life, but the prevailing influence in my character, my life, has really been three black women. And some of the things I've written about them have gotten into literature. This is a good answer to your question because I know there's a whole lot of good Afrocentric writing is being done that's not being published any place. And it's good caliber work. I think we need more publications, we need more magazines. File-On is no more. The Journal of Negro Education isn't publishing a great deal anymore. And Young Higher Education seems to have gone out of business. The Midwest Review that used to be published at Lincoln in Missouri is out of business. And the Urban League and the NACP used to publish different magazines, and that's no longer a publishing outlet. So we need the organization of publication. Johnson had underwritten Black World, and he wasn't losing any money, just wasn't making a whole lot. And that went out of business because the pressure that was put on Johnson, and people let him get away with it. Black people get angry too many times and they don't take time out to write a letter, pick up the telephone and call. And let people know that. And if they don't like the Eurocentric literature in the school books, and if enough parents just point out a good piece that they think should be there, eventually somehow it's going to get there. If you let the textbook houses know that I'm not going to buy your text until this textbook reflects the composition of the population of this country. And this is a multi-ethnic country. But not enough people speaking that way. Not enough people showing that kind of concern.
I think one thing very important is that we have to begin to become more interested in reading and supporting authors who are writing the book. Dr. Clarke is writing 2 books right now. He's writing 2 books. Dr. Jackson, he just recently wrote 1 or 2 books. Paul Coase is in the process of publishing a book that you wrote an introduction for. Is that correct? The information is here. We have to develop the appetite for the information. There are 2 people in the audience, Alicia and Ken, that are part of an organization. Could you all stand, please, so we can identify you? Alicia and Ken, they're part of an organization that is spearheading parental and community participation in placing demands on the school system to develop and implement an Afrocentric curriculum. You all need to touch bases with them before they leave tonight so that they can get your name and address and you can become a part of this movement. It's going to be up to us in order to bring about a change. We have time for a couple of more questions. We're going to do the best we can. The sister over here, the brother over here. We are going to have to close down the mic at 10:45. The brothers have a schedule that they have to maintain in order for them to come back tomorrow afternoon. Sister?
To any of our elders who care to address this question, what do you consider to be the present and the future impact of Brother Louis Farrakhan on Black people?
I think Louis Farrakhan has had a major impact on the Black freedom movement. He's glib, he's smart, and he's got a good, sharp mind. He's a much better biblical student than Jesse Jackson. He reads well. Sometimes his emphasis is misplaced. He's always trying to sell Islam, and I just don't think that our need is for another religion. I think our need is for a new spiritual way of life, and I'm a little sick of the assumption that Islam is the black man's true religion. Islam is a comparatively new religion. It came into being around the 7th century A.D. And it came into being so fast it had to take something from Zoroastrianism, something from Christianity, something from Judaism, and in fact it's probably the least original of the world's religions. There's nothing wrong with that. nothing wrong with